Hello, everyone. Today we have an interesting and a bit of a non-standard topic. The Code of Hammurabi. Today we will try to reach this concept and try to understand what it is, how it came about, and what he did. First, let's give an idea of what it is. The Code of Hammurabi is one of the oldest and most famous collections of laws, which was created around 1754 BC in Babylon. This document is of great importance for understanding the development of legal systems and the social order of the ancient world. The code was created in ancient Babylon, modern Iraq, during the reign of King Hammurabi, who ruled from 1792 to 1750 BC. The code is carved on a large diorite ceiling that was found in the city of Susa, modern Iran. The historical context of the codex was as follows. Babylon at that time was a powerful center of civilization in Mesopotamia. Under the rule of Hammurabi, the Babylonian kingdom reached its peak, including the conquest of neighboring city-states and the expansion of territories. Hammurabi sought to unify and centralize his kingdom, which included the establishment of a single legal code. Hammurabi was a wise and ambitious ruler who sought to establish order and justice in his state. His reign is characterized by the construction of infrastructure, the strengthening of the administrative system and, of course, the creation of a code of laws. The introduction of a single code of laws helped to centralize governance and ensure that legal norms were uniform across the state. A single code allowed for better control of different parts of the kingdom, preventing arbitrariness by local rulers and officials. The laws were designed to ensure order in society by preventing conflict and ensuring justice. Hammurabi wanted to create a system where every citizen knew their rights and responsibilities. Many laws were aimed at protecting the weaker sections of the population, women, children, slaves, from the arbitrariness of the stronger ones. Clear rules for trade, loans, and contracts helped the economy grow. This helped to avoid disputes and ensured fair conditions for all participants in economic relations. Laws governing property contributed to economic stability and trade by protecting the rights of owners. Let's go back a little bit. How this code was created in the first place. Hammurabi and his advisors studied and collected existing laws and legal norms from different parts of his kingdom. They took into account traditional laws, customs, and court decisions. Hammurabi consulted with sages, judges and administrators who helped formulate the laws and adapt them to the needs of society. The collected laws were systematized and categorized for ease of use. This created a clear and understandable structure for the code. The laws were carved on a diorite ceiling, which was installed in a public place so that all citizens could read them. This ensured the openness and accessibility of the legal system. After codification, the laws were officially approved by Hammurabi. He declared them binding throughout the kingdom. To understand this sentence a little better, let's look at what codification is. Codification is the process of systematizing, streamlining, and combining legal rules and laws into one logically structured and summarized document or code. This can include both the collection of existing laws and the development of new laws that together create a single, coherent system of law. Codification makes the legal system more understandable and accessible to citizens, lawyers, and judges. A clear structure of laws makes them easier to use and apply in practice. From the main point, laws were organized in a logical sequence to facilitate their use. Laws were edited to remove contradictions and ambiguities with existing laws. The laws were then distributed throughout the kingdom, and local administrations and judges were required to implement them. Training was organized for officials and judges so that they could apply the new laws correctly. Let's get back to the code. The Code of Hammurabi is carved on a large diorite stele about 2.25 meters high. The upper part of the stele depicts Hammurabi himself receiving laws from the god of justice Shamash. The code consists of 282 laws covering various aspects of life, property, family relations, commercial transactions, criminal offenses, and many others. Let's take a look at some of them. Law 36. If a man rents a field and fails to produce a crop, the lessee must return to the lessor a stipulated amount of grain. The laws included regulation of ownership of land, houses, livestock, and other property. They defined the rights and obligations of owners, including inheritance and lease issues. Law 128. If a man has taken a woman as his wife, but has not entered into a contract with her, she shall not be considered his wife. The laws regulated marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption, and family responsibilities. For example, they defined the rights of the wife and children, as well as the procedures for divorce and property division. Here are some more. Law 196. If a man plucks out another man's eye, he shall have his eye plucked out. Criminal laws included various types of punishments for crimes, including the death penalty, corporal punishment, and fines. The principle of an eye for an eye was often applied. The principle of an eye for an eye was the basic principle of justice in the Code of Hammurabi. It meant that the punishment should fit the crime, ensuring fairness and equality. Law 100. If a merchant borrows money with interest, he must repay the amount borrowed, together with interest, within the prescribed time. The laws regulated commercial transactions, including trade, credit agreements, interest rates, and responsibility for fulfilling contracts. Judicial proceedings in Babylon included procedures for handling cases, witnesses, and evidence. Judges were highly responsible and had to act in accordance with the laws of the code. Judges were important officials who were responsible for the fair resolution of disputes. Witnesses played a key role in providing evidence. Penalties included physical punishment, fines, banishment, and other forms of punishment, as well as compensation for victims. I hope this has been clear to you, because there is a lot of information. But I think everyone is interested in the impact of the code on modern times. The principle of an eye for an eye is one of the main ones. The principle that the punishment must fit the crime is at the heart of many modern legal systems. Although modern legal systems do not apply the literal principle of an eye for an eye, the idea of proportionality of punishment is still important. This principle is reflected in modern justice systems, where punishment is proportionate to the seriousness of the crime, which helps to ensure justice. The Code of Hammurabi included rules that governed the judicial process, including the role of judges and witnesses. This became the basis for the development of judicial procedures that are an important part of modern legal systems. In addition, just as Hammurabi's laws were carved on the ceiling for all to see, modern legal systems also strive for publicity and accessibility of legal rules. The second important borrowing is social justice and human rights protection. The code included laws that protected the rights of women, children, and slaves. This aspect is reflected in modern legal systems that provide special rights and protections to vulnerable groups. Modern legal systems include provisions aimed at protecting human rights and preventing discrimination, reflecting the idea of social justice from the Code of Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi included laws governing property, inheritance, and commercial relations. These issues remain important in modern legal systems, where property and inheritance are clearly regulated by law. As well as labor law, the laws that regulated the relationship between employers and employees are also reflected in modern labor codes that ensure the rights of employees and regulate labor relations. Finally, The cultural and educational impact of the Code of Hammurabi is an important object of study in legal studies and history. Its analysis helps to understand the development of law and society. The code is often included in history and law curricula, contributing to the understanding of the historical development of legal systems. To summarize, the Code of Hammurabi has had a significant impact on the development of legal systems, social justice, economic regulation, and cultural understanding. Its principles and ideas are reflected in modern legal systems, ensuring the continuity and development of legal norms. It is an important example of how ancient legal documents can influence modern times, contributing to the development of law and society as a whole. I am very glad that you have watched to the very end. I would like to ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to your support. See you soon.